why this and this is still dry. So I'm going to create the darkest in the corners right in here. I'm going to blend it with my finger. Okay. Next, what I'm going to do is go in with more of the yellowish greenish tone. I'm going to mix them together with my finger right here. And I'm going to go in and just gently tap it in, because this is where it's starting to heal. Okay? So I work it best with my finger, because then you get that really soft natural blend more than anything else, which I like. And I'm just going to work it around the bottom in a circle and right on top of the lid to make it really look bruised. And then I'm going to go in and work it just a little bit more, come in with a little bit more, bring in the purple underneath the eye too, and make sure that I just clean up this area with some more bruising. Oh my God, she's beginning to look so good. Like we really got in a fight. But truthfully, she's just really worked to death over finishing up the new face and body art website. So you guys got to check that out. It's going to be up. It should be up by tomorrow. Well, by the time that I finish and post this video, it will be up. So visit FabaIC.com, and I'll make sure to put that on the screen too. Okay, so now I have pretty much her bruised eye. If you can look at me, just so she has her black eye. Now, because this area is dry, and I believe her granola is, I'm going to go in and add the same thing. I'm going to fill in the top of her nose just a little bit and blend that out with a little bit of the blood colors. Just dab it right on there. And then I'm going to back in on top of it with a sponge to tap right on top of, or with my brush, sorry, to go right on top of the granola so I can give it color. So I can cover that up, because you want your scab to be darker. Usually when it scabs right around the nose, that's dried blood more than anything else. So notice what I'm doing. I'm tapping it right on top of it, blending it out. You're doing so good, I promise.
Okay, is this a picture going to go in sugardaddy.com?
It is. So I'm going to just make it a little bit darker right in there, because that's where the blood dried the most. And then I'm going to use my finger again to just kind of blend it out as I come down right on top of the nose bridge, and maybe a little bit by her mouth here, because she got really beat up tonight. I mean, I was really upset with her. Because she told me she had a dream that she lost my kid. Yes. So I'm really mad at her over that. Okay, so now that I have kind of my scab sitting in there, and I have this bruising effect right on her nose, the last step is what else other than to add some blood, because blood is the finishing touch. So last week I was giving away free blood, and this is what you do with it. I'm going to just kind of build that right in there, and I'll even have some extra blood coming down from her chin, so that she really has just this nasty dried blood. You can move it around with your finger, move it down. So now she has like this really gross face going on. Alright, so now that I've finished that, I'm going to show you guys a quick little busted eyebrow look. I'm going to do this quick little busted eyebrow and show you guys how to do it while this is still drying. The thicker the cotton goes, the thicker the cotton is, the longer it's going to take to dry, because it's absorbing it. So this really helps if you have a dryer to dry it off. But what I'm going to do is just coat my hands with a little bit of Vaseline. And this helps so that the wax does not stick to your hands. This was a tip I learned from one of the greatest FX teachers of all time, Jinsey. I love her. Her and Deidre have taught me so much that I'm so grateful for. So then I'm just going to scoop out a little kind of swab of this synthetic wax. I'm going to take this ball and roll it in my hands like this. And the heat of your hands is what makes it pliable, flexible to work with. So I roll it in a ball. And the reason it's not sticking to my hands is because I have Vaseline. So I'm going to take this ball and I'm going to stick it right on top of her eyebrow right here. Now, because her face is oily, it might not stick as much as I want to, but I'm going to work with it anyways. Now, typically when you're doing any type of wax effect, which I'll show you next with the safety pins, on the face, you'll want to put down a little spirit gum or liquid latex first to help it stick, depending on how long you want it. So what I did is put a little bit more Vaseline on my hands, and you need to press out the edges and work out the edges of this wax ball that you created. So I'm just pressing it out, pressing it against her skin, giving her a headache while I'm doing it, right? Okay, so what I'm doing is using my fingers and the heat of my hands to press out this wax, okay? You still want to leave this kind of bubble in the middle because you need that in order to hold your whatever into place, whether it's the pencil, whether it's the safety pins like I'm doing. So again, I want to smooth out those edges to make it look as real as possible. So the more you smooth it out, the better off it's going to look. Now I had a little bit of extra, so I'm just kind of moving it away. And I'll fill up my fingers again with Vaseline. And I'm going to go deep into her eye and pop her eye right out to give it a more realistic effect. Just kidding, just kidding. It's a massage, it's a head massage, right? Just kidding. Okay, so what I did now is I went ahead and I smoothed it out, but still left enough of a bubble in the middle to hold it into place. Once I have it smoothed out, I'm going to take my sock full of baby powder and I'm going to beat her with it. And I'm just going to lightly tap it on there so that what I'm doing is I'm setting it so that I can next apply makeup right on top of it, okay? So, and that helps it. Okay?
She looks busted.
She really does. She looks busted and disgusted. Okay, so now that I have this little wound right on top of her forehead, I'm going to take the edge of my paintbrush that has a kind of like a, I guess kind of like a slanted end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the gash right in the middle of it. Just draw it right there. And I'll make it on a diagonal. And this is going to help me know my placement of where to put the safety pins. So now, once I have that, I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to fill in the darkest part using my wheel. I'm going to fill in, mixing a little bit of the darker colors. And I'm going to go in the middle. I want to add the darkest color. And I'm going to cover it up. And now I'm going to take my fingers again, mixing a little bit of the reds together, and I'm just going to kind of go around the edge with it. And I'm patting it out. Bring it down kind of on her eye. Don't fall asleep on me.
Just thinking I'm going to make this my Christmas card.
You totally should. This would be amazing. So I'm bringing in the yellows. I'm bringing in more of the red to cover up the flesh. Or I cover up the wax that I used. Making it look really kind of irritated. And then I'm going to mix a little bit of the greens and yellows to bring it down, make it look bruised, battered, which is really busted and disgusted is the look I'm going for. I hope I can accomplish that today. So I'm just kind of patting it out, keep on going, just to make it. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to again powder this makeup to set it. Okay, so I'm just lightly going on top of it, powdering it so that the makeup, if she sweats or if she's in a haunted house, it's not going to run. Okay. Next, you'll just dust off any extra powder that there is, and then you're going to take your safety pins. And the key to making this look good